Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us all this truth to rule well. This lesson is going to be entitled In the Twinkling of an Eye. Okay, I was listening to the apostles of Great Millstone, when they went out to camp. And this was brought out last time they went out to camp last week. This recent time and the week before. And, it's been lingering in my spirit to make a video on it. And the spirit hit me today, just go ahead and do it. So Lord willing, this is edifying. But this is 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay, it's talking about these bodies. We're going to receive immortal bodies. All right, because this flesh cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. Okay, this flesh is desperately wicked. That's why the Most High says He's going to give us a heart of flesh and not a heart of stony. Because the stone heart that we have now, we couldn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It would break. But the Most High is going to give us that fleshly heart, okay, to where we keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly. And that's the promise of the new covenant in Jeremiah 31 and 31 on down. The same thing Yahweh said in Matthew 26 and 26 down to 28. So in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay? So that's why you have the apostle that even said, let me get it after this one. This is John 14 and 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Okay, so those mansions are these other planets, these other places that Yahweh has prepared for us. That means habitable. All right, you have Esau, Edom that's looking at these other planets saying, this place is habitable, and this place reminds us of Earth, and this place kind of, has a similarity to Earth, and it's all water, and it's this, and it's that, Well, that's what Yahweh said, man. In the Father's house are many mansions, But this is another one. In verse 2, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. So one, Yahweh is preparing these worlds to be inhabited by the Israelites. Okay. And two, in the book of Ezra, second book of Ezra, chapter 13, it tells you how Yahweh flew upon a graven how Yahweh flew upon a mountain, just talking about the chariots, and when the chariots come, our bodies will be changed in the twinkling of an eye, right? So this can all go hand in hand. And in verse 3, it says, if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again. You see? So Yahweh is going to come back. But first he has to go and prepare a place for us. All right? Which could be these bodies, these glorified bodies that Yahweh is going to come back, and our spirit is going to animate. It's kind of like when you go into a car, right? You can go into a beat up, rusty car, all right, that still drives and it still gets the job done, but we're not moving in luxury at the moment. Okay, but when Yahweh comes back, we're going to be moving in luxury, because we shall be as him. All right, so let me get that one. It's locked. Let me finish this one. It says, John 14:3, and I go and prepare a place for you. I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. All right, which means what? We're going to be made perfect. Again, in Jeremiah 31:31, it explains that. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments are going to be written in our inward parts. And Yahweh Shai is the way, he is the word. So we're going to have everything set up perfectly for the Israelites, man. That's why Israel's not going to teach another Israelite, but we are going to teach these other nations, and we're going to rule them with a rod of iron, and we will dash them in pieces if they go off. That's all the scripture's talking about, man. In Isaiah 2, it tells you how the heathen are going to say, let's go into the mountain of Jacob, or the God of Jacob, the mountain of Zion. For what? Because out of Zion's going to be coming out the law, because we are going to be the law. You see, in a perfect sense, man. You're not going to have any Israelite ever go off again. Okay, we're going to be made perfect. So this is 1 John. Let me start off at 5 and then I'll go to 3. It says, whosoever believeth that Yahweh Shai is Mashiach is born of the Most High. And everyone that loveth him that begat, loveth him also that is begotten of him. So if you truly love the Most High, Yahweh, okay, then you're going to love Yahweh Shai. Why? Because he's the embodiment of the word of Yahweh, the perfection. It says, verse 2, by this we know that we love the children of the Most High, when we love the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth in Yahweh Shai is the son of Yahweh. Right? So we're going to 1 John chapter 3 and 1. It says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. You see? It says, therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Now, why would he say that? Okay. In 1 John 3 and 2, it says, it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Okay. But we know that when he shall appear, we just read that, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Okay. So we don't know, what our bodies are going to look like, how big our, how thick our mustaches are going to be, or how big our beards are going to be. Okay. And that's slightly irrelevant. All right. Because everything has a relevance in the time of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. But I'm saying it's slightly irrelevant just because that's not what's needed for salvation. If a brother doesn't have a full beard or a full mustache, that doesn't mean he's not going to be saved, man. The things that pertain to salvation is our faith. You see? So we don't know how we're going to look, how big our beards are going to be, how curly and kinky our hair is going to be, or how nice our froze are going to be, or, how dark our skin is going to get, or how light a brother may be, or how dark a brother may be. We don't know any of that stuff, man. All right, but we do know, okay, that the flesh that we're going to receive is not going to be like the flesh that we have now. For the corruptible, all right, which is our spirit in this flesh we have now, shall put on the incorruptible, which is going to be the new body that Yahweh Shai is going to bring us, like I read in the book of John. So it says, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. So we will be like him, which is perfect. Okay. For we shall see him as he is, which is perfect. Okay. We're going to be able to behold Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. you know. But for now, in verse 4, it says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law, right? So Jeremiah 31, since I made mention of it, in 31 it says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them up out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh. So the Most High is married to Israel. It says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. You see? That means we're going to be made perfect. It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. That means we're not going to be teaching Israelites, know the way of the Most High. Why? Because we're going to be born with that light. Okay, it says, saying, know the Lord, or know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least even unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and will remember their sin no more. You see, that means we're going to be made perfect. You know? So those bodies that Yahweh Shai is going to prepare, okay, those are those glorified bodies, man. You know? And we shall see him as he is, because we shall be like him. You know? We shall see him as he is, for we shall be like him. This is 2 Ezra 2 and 33. I, Ezra, receive a charge of Yahweh upon Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught, and despised the commandment of the Lord. And that's what you're seeing now with Yashar Allah, you know, with the Israelites, Jakes. Verse 34, and therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest. So who are the heathen? Okay? It's not talking about the other nations. You know? That's the same thing you see in Ezekiel chapter 20, and I believe it's verse 32. There was another one in the so-called New Testament where it says, and you know, basically, if, you know, a brother doesn't want to listen to a brother, and then doesn't want to listen to the council, and doesn't want to listen to anyone, and he wants to do his own thing, then he shall be casted off and counted as a heathen. You know, he'll be counted as a Gentile. So then why did Ezra say in 2 Ezra 2 and 34, and therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, all right, because you're wanting to be like the heathen, that you hear and understand, okay, that know your Israelites, or that, you know, you see the way of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, but you don't want to do it. He shall give you everlasting rest, you know. So whenever you start hearing this truth, you start conforming and converting to the ways of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, which means you're going to be putting on that immortal clothing. You're going to be shedding off the old man, you know, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come into the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Right? So that's talking about immortality. You know, forevermore is immortality. So when you jump down to verse 41, the number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed. You see? Now let's look up that word, hallowed. Regarded as holy, venerated, sacred. Okay? So, holy select. Let's look up the word holy. Specially recognized as or declared sacred by religious use or authority. Consecrated. Okay? So, when you're consecrated, we'll look up that word in a minute. Verse number 3, it says saintly, godly, pious, devout. Okay? And when you look up who the saints are in Exodus 19:6, okay? Or it might have been Exodus 16. I always get it mixed up. But it says, the Most High told Moses, and Aaron to speak unto the children of Israel, that they're going to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, a spiritual people. You see? So when you go down to the meaning of the word, Old English, equivalent to hal, which is whole, and that's why we say ka halalyam. All right, all those ancient Paleo Hebrew words, you can see some of them in modern day English, all right, or Spanish. Like when they say hallelujah, that goes back to the Hebrew. Halal. Because when you say ka halal, you're saying all praise. Which is a whole thing. It says cognate with Dutch, German, hail. So when you go to consecrate, to make or declare sacred, set apart, or dedicate to the service of a deity. All right. So when you're set apart, that means you're not going to be like the other nations. Okay. When you're holy, you're not going to be like the rest. Right. And if the nation of Israel is going to be holy, therefore all Israel shall be saved. Okay. Which means in the kingdom, they're all going to be good. The whole nation. Okay. And how can that happen if there's no such thing as reincarnation? So 2 Ezra 2 and continuing in verse 41 again, that thy people, and we read how the Most High's people are the Israelites, okay, which have been called from the beginning, okay, the sons of God, may be hallowed, okay, holy, separated from the rest. I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, who I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. All right, so who are those men that are beholding, all right, Yahweh Shai, that are beholding Yahweh Shai as he is, because they're like him? The only difference was the stature, which means Yahweh Shai, basically saying Yahweh Shai is our elder, our true priest, our true elder, the first begotten, okay, the Messiah, our leader, under the spirit and power of Yahweh, So it says, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, all right, the mortal bodies, and put on the immortal, okay, immortality, man. So before I finish that one, let me go to Deuteronomy 33. Let's leave it at 26. 2 Ezra 2 and verse 43. It says, Salakia, verse 45. And he answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and have put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Okay, which means peace. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is this that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, who they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Okay, when you see that word commend, it's also the same thing as kiss. In Psalms chapter 2, it says, Kiss the Son lest he be angry. And when you look up that word kiss, it means to commend, to worship. Okay, and the Mount Zion is talking about the elect. So the elect are going to be worshipped. Yahweh Shai is going to be worshipped, and the Most High is going to be specially worshipped. But these other nations are going to bow down to Israel. You see, not saying that we're going to be the true high gods, over the Most High. We're going to be gods under Yahweh and under Yahweh Shai. you know. So let me get this one in the book of Psalms also. So like it's Solomon, it was 3. Yeah. Let me start off up here. This is Deuteronomy 33:26. There is none. You know what? Let me get this one first. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. Okay. It says, in the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Okay. And remember how our faith is what really carries us. You know, our faith is what's going to get us into the kingdom. It says, verse 2, in the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, which is what? Mortality. You know, when you're immortal, you die, right? It says, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, put to death, all right, our heads chopped off, you know, punished or what is that word? How they did Yahweh, you know, when they punished the body. Though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Why? Because we're gonna through our hope, through the faith we carry, we're gonna receive a kingdom. We're gonna receive glorified bodies. You know, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall be changed. And though it may not appear what we shall be, but we know that we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is, holy, separated, perfect, immortal. You know? So it says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. In the time of their visitation they shall shine, and run to and fro like sparks amongst the stubble. That's the same thing you see in the book of Daniel, I believe 12:4. You know, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is what's going to lead us into that salvation. Isaiah 33 also goes into it. You know, so it says they shall judge the nations, okay, as immortals. We're going to judge the other nations and have dominion over the people. And Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall reign forever. You see? So we're going to have a dominion of forever. Okay? Everlasting. So how do our bodies have to be in order to be in an everlasting dominion? Perfect. You know? A body that can't decay. A body that can't die. A body that can't receive sin. That is perfection, man. They that put their trust in him, verse 9, shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. You see? He has care for his elect. Deuteronomy 33:26, there is none like unto the God of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky, which is talking about when Yahweh comes back, he's coming back on a chariot. You know? So when you look up that name, Jeshurun, Yasharwan, upright one, a symbolic name of Israel, describing her ideal character, being an upright one. You know, Yashar means to be right, to be straight, to be level, to be upright, be just, be lawful, be smooth. You know, tell me how perfect we are now. We're not. We're rehearsing, right? We're rehearsing perfection, but we're still not perfect, you know? So we still haven't became that Yasharwan, you know, which is an upright Israel, you know? So it says, verse 27, the eternal God is thy refuge, talking about the Israelites, and underneath are the everlasting arms. You see? And he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. You know, Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob, all right, so that means not a spiritual Israelite in the sense of you're a Hamite and you call yourself a spiritual Israelite because you say you believe in the Lord. Okay, you have to be of the fountain of Jacob, shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew, Happy art thou, O Israel. Who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency? And thine enemies shall be found liars upon thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. That's the same thing you see in the book of Obadiah. And the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. Okay? So saviors shall come up out of Mount Zion, which are the elect. And we're going to tread upon your high places. That means we're going to have dominion of the whole earth. Okay? That's why in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, it says, Esau is the end of the world, which is this current fleshly world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, which is a righteous, perfect unison with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for the Israelites. And the whole world is going to be living good, because they're going to be under a good, righteous care, man. So I hope that was edifying. With that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, Shalom.